My favorite story in the world has so much to do with what's going on in our culture right now. And so I thought, I've shared this before, but I'm going to share it again because I think it matters. Little village of people called Wemmicks. They're little toys. And the toy maker, Eli, makes each of the toys. Eli lives up on the hill. The Wemmicks live in a little village below. So every day the Wemmicks go around back and forth, and they have stars and circles. So if somebody does something that you think doesn't measure up, you give them a circle. If somebody does something that you think measures up, you give them a star. And so all day long, these little Wemmicks are running around judging each other. You know, somebody trips and falls, they give them a circle. Somebody says something eloquent, they give them a star. One little Wemmick, his name is Punchinella. Punchinella has covered with circles. Every time he tries to do something, he messes up. He'll go to step over a puddle and splashes water, they give him a circle. He says the wrong thing in a sentence, they put a circle on him. So he's just covered, and he feels horrible about himself. So one day he sees this little Wemmick named Lucia. Lucia has no circles and no stars. And he comes up and he sees Wemmicks trying to stick a circle on her, because if you don't have any stars, you must deserve to have a circle, a bad mark, right? They try to put the circle on, it falls off. Then they try to give her a star because they think she's something that she's not, and the star doesn't fit, it falls off. So he goes up to Lucia, Punchinella, and he says, I want to be like you. How do you do it? She goes, well, every day I go spend time with Eli, the toy maker, and he can tell you how to do it. And he goes, but who is he? Where is he? He goes, he lives up on the hill. So Punchinella decides to go up to the toy maker's house, walks up the hill, gets there, scared to death, because this is the toy maker. This is Eli. He gets into the room, and Eli looks over at him, and he says, oh, Punchinella, I've been waiting for you to come see me. And Punchinella says, well, I didn't know where to go. And Eli says to him, you're covered with a lot of bad marks. And he goes, I know, I'm sorry, I didn't, you know, it's every time I do something, I mess up. And Eli looks at Punchinella and says, you don't have to explain yourself to me. You see, those marks came from Wemmicks, just like you. They're just Wemmicks. They're just other toys like you. Who are they to give you a circle or a star? And the little Wemmick looks up at Eli and says, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? And he says, you come here every day and spend time with me, and I will show you why their marks don't matter. And he says, well, I saw Lucia and nothing sticks to her. And he goes, she spends time with me and understands that they're just Wemmicks, and what they say doesn't matter. So the little Punchinella looks at him and just thinks, is this for real? And all of a sudden, one of the circles on Punchinella falls to the ground. So what is that story saying? What that story says is, when human beings judge one another, who are they to judge? They're just like you and me. They're equal to us. They're no better than you or me. They don't get to judge us. They don't get to call us names because we disagree with them. They can do it, but the stickers only stick if you let them. And here's the thing. Not only does Punchinella need the circles, but if you spend enough time with Eli, you don't need the stars either. And when you don't need the stars, then the circles have even less power to stick. I want to be like Punchinella. I don't need anybody else's mark. I got one person who can judge me, and that's Eli. And everybody else is just like me, another Wemmicks.